You must be Mr. Important, Mr. Wagner. You got your name on there twice.
Oh, well, you had your name on there twice.
I did? Well, I guess we're equally as important.
Scratch me.
Don't anybody tell me.
Okay. Let's call the meeting back to order. We are out of executive session, and typically we take a roll call just to confirm for the record that we're all here. So
Commissioner Wagner,
I'm here.
Commissioner Stacy,
Here.
Commissioner Zoller.
Here.
Okay, at 10:30, we're scheduled to meet with Seneca Logistics regarding the pipeline. A couple of things, as the commissioners talked after you were here last time, we're fine with leasing the county property for the easement out there by the airport, so we can pass that resolution and get that paperwork drawn up. Since then, Soil and Water came in to see us, and they asked if they would like to volunteer their services, tell me if I'm wrong here, Tia, to help locate drainage tile on individuals' property where the pipeline goes through, and I guess we feel as a board that would be a win-win situation. It would help you to locate the tile because you obviously fix them as you go through them, and it would help the landowner to have a little assurance too that a third party is kind of overseeing that effort. Mr. Zimmerman, the county engineer at that time, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, Tia, said that that would even be a condition of the road permits that we ultimately sign off on.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that
Okay,
part of it.
okay.
I did speak with Tia
Okay.
last Friday,
Mhm.
and I believe Jason Kurgis is the one has the plan submitted to him.
Okay.
And Tia's comments were that, yes, they're gonna supply us with a crew that'll work along with us to GPS in the locations of those drain tiles as we cross those, so those can be readdressed as we do the backfilling and things and get those repaired properly.
Great, and that's okay with you?
Mhm.
Okay. We did ask, I guess we put it out to the public, mainly to the trustees that were in the affected townships. I don't think anybody representing the trustees are here, but we do have a few other folks here. And I guess we want to make this time available for them to ask questions. I want to emphasize, this isn't a debate. If you want to debate with Sunoco, you have to do that somewhere else. But if you have a question, ask him, he'll answer your question.
Sure.
Is that fair enough?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, who has, anybody have a question for the folks at Sunoco?
Yeah.
And I guess we ask that you state your name. We're recording this, so we don't know who's speaking a month from now. If we listen to it, if you don't state your names.
My name is Billy Mitchum, and I'm representing Tifton First Church of the Nazarene. And we've been working with James Stewart with Sunoco.
Okay.
But since they had this meeting today, we wanted to find out any additional information that we can, because I was out of town for a week and didn't get to contact him. I just talked with him this morning. And he still can't answer some of our questions. He has a general idea of what is going to happen. So I don't know if this gentleman can help us or not.
Do you have a specific question for him?
Yes. When they say that they're going to start in October,
That's what we're currently planning, yes.
possibly in Fostoria. That's what James said this morning.
Okay, I couldn't speak to that. I don't know where they're planning to actually start.
Okay,
And it may be in several locations and moving along.
So they won't just start in one spot.
I can't say one way or the other. I've worked on pipelines where they've started in 4 different locations, but it's a longer step, so I couldn't speak to that. I can try to find out.
And what our concern was is when will they be at our location on Township Road 201?
Okay, and I can tell you that, depending on where they start, we could make a rough estimate, but, weather permitting and other issues that we might come across would obviously speed up or slow down the process of the construction, so. But we could try to locate where it's gonna be starting. I know it's still out for bids right now, so I can't even tell you which contractor is gonna have it. Depending on the contractor that gets the project, how much equipment they have and how much labor they have available is gonna depend on how fast the job will go as well. But we can certainly try to find that information for you.
See, part of our concern is we, right now on our property, you have an existing easement,
Okay.
and so they're wanting to obtain an additional easement.
Additional line rights.
Yes, which includes our retention pond, church sign that we have in, that will have to be moved, plus also our driveway.
Would that be additional easement, or do they want some workspace along the
Well,
easement?
they want additional easement for the workspace. Is the way he tells us.
Okay. I'm not familiar with the specifics of it, but I know that they were going to, in the next week or two, we're gonna be contacting people because Seneca would like to do one last walk down the easements and try to locate any obstructions that might be in the easement that we'd have to address with our engineering. So like you mentioned, signs and things like that, those are all things that'll be listed on a punch list and they'll be coming to look at again and determine whether we can avoid those, maybe leave them in place. They wouldn't need to be moved. I can't say that they would be able to leave it, but those are all things that are gonna still be looked at here in the next few weeks.
Well, what James is, in the information that he gave us with our walkthrough with him,
Mhm.
with the existing easement and the existing pipeline that goes through, they want to move it 16.5 foot north. That's why he needs an additional easement.
Right, they're gonna be laying the new pipe.
Yes,
North
16.5
of the
foot from
original.
The existing.
Sure.
And with the workspace, it goes not through the middle of our sign, but right at the edge of it.
Okay,
And it takes part of the foundation,
okay.
which it will have to be.
You know, I know that the contractor sometimes has additional construction techniques that can be used, laying the pipe in place and dragging it forward and things like that. But typically, the reason that we look for that workspace is because of the safety requirements of our putting pipes in the ground. We have to be able to have room for emergency vehicles to get in and out of areas while we have equipment in place in case someone was to be injured and things like that. So, I mean, there may be ways that we can work around certain things, but they'd have to be addressed individually and typically by the engineers on the project. You know, we can put our requests into them and then they can look at those.
And one other concern that we have with this additional 50-foot easement that he is asking for, takes it within about 6 foot of our parking lot.
Mhm.
So if we grow and we want to extend our parking lot, we asked James, can we, and will we be able to, on top of this additional 50-foot easement? And he was going to do some checking, but the way he said to us was, we can put it there, but if you have to come back in and work on that pipeline and he tears up our parking lot, it's our problem.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not familiar with this one. It sounds non-typical that we're looking for an additional 50 feet of easement when we have the original easement. And that's, the 50 foot is kind of based on the center line of that first pipe.
Yes.
So we have 25 feet to each side of it. And if we're looking to lay that other pipe 16.5 feet off, I don't see why we need to have an additional 50 on top of that. I think that that's a workspace. That's just a renting thing and it doesn't stay as an easement when we're done. I think that might be a difference in wording, but I can certainly look into that. And at that point, we wouldn't have any rights to continue to use that after we were done with the construction. That would just be workspace for the time of construction.
I have a copy of the easement.
If it has the plat on it, I can take a look at that.
It's,
Sure.
well, what it says is, first he tells us the 30-foot, but according to the easement that we have, it's probably a 45-foot easement.
Is there a drawing attached to these long sheets?
Well, the drawing that he gave us
Oh,
was
okay.
that, which that don't tell you. This is a copy of the easement that he gave us, but I got an additional copy from the courthouse.
Okay, this right here, this last bit here with the diagonal line, is a proposed 25-foot temporary workspace.
Yeah, but this is the, what he was telling us, but see, if you go with this print that he gave us, it's going through, straight through the property. It does not go straight through the property. It goes diagonal, and by taking it diagonal, the easement says from the center line of 201, 45 foot up. And so this is not really in the center of the easement. It's going
Angles through
diagonal,
it.
so you're going completely, maybe at one place you might have whatever half of 45 foot is. At the other end, you may not have a 10 foot.
Well, we'll certainly take a look and try to get those answers for you. I have some notes written down, and we do have a meeting this afternoon back in Akron. And James is on this half of the project, and he'll be there this afternoon as well. So I can get with him and try to get some answers for you.
Other questions?
think that's all I have.
Okay, last chance. Any other questions for? Okay, we do have a resolution accepting the area there at the airport to,
I have a resolution authorizing a right-of-way easement with Seneca Pipeline LP.
okay. Is there a motion?
Make a motion, we accept that.
I'll second.
Any more discussion on that? I might note in the discussion, originally, I thought this was on the same side as the airport, but this is across 224, so it's, you know, it's just bare land there, it won't affect anything, but you know, on our particular piece of property. Okay, vote, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Zoller?
Yes.
Commissioner Stacy?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Yes. Is there any other public comment on any issue today?
Physically here, yeah.
All right, do the commissioners or the staff have anything else for today, the good of the order? Is there a motion to adjourn now?
So moved.
Second.
All right, we are adjourned at 10:42. Thank you all for coming.